Once he was with the Red Sox, and I went over from Lakeland to Winter Haven, and it was very late in his career. It might have even been over. And we just talked about baseball a little bit. He asked Ted Williams, when you talked to him, he was inquisitive. He asked a lot of questions himself. He asked me about Joe Falls, who was a founder of this group, as a matter of fact. Actually, I interviewed him a third time, once in the lobby of the book Cadillac. Joe and I went over when Williams was left off the All-Star team. It had to be 57, 58, 59, and they're 60. He was left off the All-Star team, and the Red Sox came into Detroit, and Williams came up the escalator to the first floor lobby of the book Cadillac, and we asked him, what about being left off the All-Star team? And Ted was Ted. He said, well, I didn't deserve to be on the All-Star team. And that's what he said. And I had the second time in Winter Haven. The third time he was a new manager of the Washington Senators, a team that is now the Texas Rangers. And I walked in alone. I drove down from Lakeland to Pompano Beach. I walked into his office, his manager's office, and I said, hi, I'm Jerry Green of the Detroit News. I didn't finish anymore. He said, how does Lolich look? How's he throwing? Well, he was grilling me as if I could tell, which really, as sports journalists, we can't really tell. The greatest game ever, I would say, because of the implications, where it was, when it was Don Larson's perfect game in the 1956 World Series. I still have images of Yogi Berra, the late Yogi Berra, whom I admired very much because of his wartime activities on the beaches of Normandy, or taking troops into the beaches of Normandy. And this is the day after Veterans Day and Veterans Week. I came in wearing my veterans cap, one of them. I think there was so much riding on that game. It was a World Series. And one of the things that bothers me is that there's not enough respect now for the World Series. The aforementioned Derek Jeter, I believe, hit more postseason home runs than Babe Ruth. Really? Well, Babe Ruth only played World Series. And you cannot combine those records in my mind.
No. I'm just guessing, but I think you might have an opinion on all the shifting they do when a left-handed batter gets up. You may have something to say about that?
Other than it's overdone, I think there are percentages, and baseball is a game of percentages. And Sparky did it all the time. The reliance on relief pitchers now is very important, and you know, it seems to work. But I mean, the 1927 Yankees, supposedly the best team that ever played, had a relief pitcher named Wilcie Moore. And in '61, when the Tigers should have won the pennant, who remembers that season? Incidentally, somebody told me that yesterday would have been Norman Cash's 81st birthday. And I think that's something to think about. The Tigers had Terry Fox in '61. They should have won.
Jerry, I'm 64 years old, and as far as I know, I'm pretty healthy. Will the Lions win another playoff game in my lifetime?
Truth? Go see your Undertaker right now.
This year, you are permitted.
I am permitted. Okay.
This year.
So they win another game.
Another playoff game, 64. We're talking about.
Not with that owner.
Well, made the playoffs a couple of times in the last 5 or 6 years. Poor Lions, they get 1 year they're decent, they give hope. The next year they flop all over the place. This was a terrible season for them. I foresee an awful lot of changes there. You're 64. Let's give you
30 years.
The benefit of the doubt and say you live to 90. That would be 26 years, my math.
You're right.
Win another playoff game, perhaps a first round game. I think they would have to have a new quarterback. I think this guy is very good, Matthew Stafford. He's very good, I think. But Detroit and quarterbacks just don't seem to go very well. I can remember the old days at Briggs Stadium back in '56. My first year here, people in the bleachers, when they weren't building bonfires, were singing, "Goodbye, Bobby, goodbye, Bobby. We hate to see you go." And in the fourth quarter, Bobby Lane's eyes got clear. Bobby Lane's eyes got clear, and he led the Lions to another victory.